Hi there, folks. My name's NovaWrap, and welcome to a special mobile edition of the NovaWrap. So we are here once again on Sunday, the 22nd of July, 2018, for another exciting episode. And I am going to start this episode by apologizing in advance for the very shocking audio quality of this episode. I am currently traveling for work and definitely far away from any of my usual equipment. So this is being brought to you by a rather challenged plug-in microphone. So, but nevertheless, the news does go on, so it is important, of course, to bring it to you guys wherever possible. And we're going to get started this week with a new release for the X-Plane world. So, the guys over at Carinado have continued bringing many of their popular titles from the ESP platform over onto X-Plane, and they continue this week with their release of the PA-31 Navajo. So, the Navajo is a really very popular one of Piper's sort of twins, and has been a very popular product for them in the ESP platform, and it's come over onto the X-Plane platform and looks absolutely gorgeous. So as we've come to expect from Carinado, it comes with a very high definition beautifully detailed external and internal model. Also has been completely reworked and revamped for the X-Plane 11 platform, including a full overhaul of the engine dynamics, and to make it fully compatible with X-Plane 11, full support and full update of all the avionics, including full support for Reality XP's GTN 750 if you have it as well. Full update of the flight dynamics and flight physics as well as updating and adaptation of the ground handling. Full use of HD rendering and the PBR rendering and PBR materials throughout the aircraft as well. Fully also compatible with the X-Plane X-Plane GNS 530 as well, and a full update and full confirmation with their subject matter experts to make sure that it does maintain the Navajo's classic flight qualities as well. So this one is now fully available from the guys over at Carinado, the Carinado web store, or from your favorite flight sim retailer, for coming in at $33 US or your regional equivalent, available now. So that one small little snippet pretty much is the only X-Plane 11 new release news I could find for the week. So we're going to move over into the ESP platform and into the guys over at Orbix, who've come out with a couple of releases this week. So their first release is their next in their generation of Cityscene releases, with their release of Cityscene Barcelona. So this one is their rendition of the city of Barcelona in Spain, and is a city with a population of over 1.6 million, and is given to us a very highly detailed sort of rendition of the city, and including nearly 1 million of accurately placed regional trees. I would dread to have been the person who actually had to place all of those trees. Like that just sounds like a mind-boggling difficult task. Anyway, includes over 100,000 accurately sized and shaped and positioned custom buildings, over 200,000 clutter and roof objects, 812 library objects, and 7 distinct point of interest buildings that have been repositioned from the core sim to the actual locations that they should be as well, including full integration of photoreal terrain along with the actual custom buildings and custom designs as well. Not only do you get a rendition of the city and its surrounding area, you also get a version of Barcelona's El Prat Airport, so Lima Echo Bravo Lima. And so updating it from the default sort of status, giving you a sort of reworked essentially a light version of the airport. So it's a lot more detailed than the default airport, but not possibly a full dedicated release of an airport. So you get a pretty interesting sort of balance of stuff with this as well. So it's pretty good, and it does look pretty spectacular for this one as well. So always impressive to see another release from the guys over at Orbix. Now, a couple of notes about compatibility. So one thing is that if you want to be able to enjoy Cityscape Barcelona, you do need to have you don't need to have any other products from Orbix, which is a pretty cool thing. However, they do note that it is not compatible with Latin VFR's release of the Barcelona airport. So, which I think is a bit of a shame. I think it would have been nice if they actually, because Latin VFR's rendition of Barcelona is pretty damn detailed and pretty damn awesome. It would have been nice if it would have actually been compatible with that. But, it's different developers, so I sort of can't blame them for that. But at the same time, everybody has to develop to Orbix's standards, so it would have been nice if they would have done both the other way. But anyway. Still, though, you're getting a very highly detailed rendition of the city itself. So if the visuals of the city and exploring the city is more important to you, and that could be pretty cool as well. As I said, nestled in sort sort of behind the hills of the Sierra Serra del Colserola. I am sure I'm going to get Sergio correcting me on that in the comments down below. That mountain range and just extending out to the sea. So it is a beautiful city. Looking forward to see what Orbix has done with it, and from the screenshots, it does look pretty amazing. If you are wanting to pick this one up, this one is available from the Orbix Direct website for 25 Australian dollars, or your original equivalent available now. In the other Orbix release for this week, this is the release of another Swiss adventure for them. By this time, heading to Tragen Airport. Now, this is an interesting one because it looks like this was a fairly personal project. This one, so this has come from us from Orbix developer Andreas Hagi, who actually lives in this area. So this is actually, he actually gets to model two airports close to him, and that's right, folks. You actually get a 2-for-1 deal for this one. So the main airport is LSPM Tragen Airport, but you also get a second airport, which is LSZO Lucerne Bernmunster Airport as well. So it's actually you actually get a 2-for-1 deal, so it's just a pretty good deal for this one. Now again, all the things that we've come to expect from the beautiful high definition airports we get from Orbix. So you get a full high definition rendition of both of these airports, including you get because it's in the because it's in Switzerland, you get some beautiful, stunning scenery and challenging approaches to come with it as well. Now this includes a full HD textures for all the building, including custom textures created from on-site photography as well. 30 centimeter per pixel coverage of the photo reel of each of the airports and the surrounding areas, full integration of Orbix Flow, wind active wind tee as well, which is something that even Orbix doesn't do very often, as well as a range of custom points of interest for the surrounding areas for both of the airports, and hand place autogen as well. Now this is looking beautifully highly detailed. Now I'm loving some of the sort of like the sort of detritus, like and some of the lead up to the airports as well, particularly sort of the entrance ways and some of the entrance sort of gate guardian, as it were, to the airport. It's just really, really cool. There's a lot of aerobatics happen in this part of the world. So yeah, you get highly detailed renditions of both of these airports coming in for 33 Australian dollars, or your regional equivalent, available now from Orbix. Moving on to other ESP releases this week, for the second release from the guys over at Technobrain. So they've come up with Naha Airport. Now this is their second airport release. And they're doing a few they seem to be intending to be doing a few from Japan, it looks like. Now this one is Naha Airport in Okinawa. So it's pretty much it is the international airport for if you want to go on holiday to a beautiful destination, the resort areas of Okinawa. But it's also actually a dual-use airport, with both the civilian side and a military side being a primary base for the Japanese Self-Defense Force, where they have Air Force and Air Naval, and ground units all located there. So this is an update airport as it appears at the start of 2018, and includes full rendition, high definition details of all of the terminal buildings, high definition taxiways, full support of standard animated control J jetways for the platform as well, pseudo shadows, bake shadows, and full support for dynamic lighting in Prepared V4 as well. A single installer which does support all of the ESP platforms, FSX, FSX Steam Edition, and all versions of Prepared. And the other thing that was rather interesting for me as well is this one includes specific AI traffic as well. So this one includes AI aircraft, static and static renditions of AI of JSDF aircraft, as well as AI traffic versions of P3C, F-15Js, and E2C Hawkeyes as well, all of the Japanese Self-Defense Force. So this is really cool and really interesting, and something that's not a lot of developers do. I know FSDG do it from time to time, but I haven't really seen a lot of developers sort of including it for specific airports. I mean, Orbix do it as well for sort of general Australian traffic, and they've got a little bit of GA American traffic. But yeah, it's really interesting actually to see that it's sort of custom and set up just for this add-on. So really cool to see that one. And not much sort of not much information of how far beyond the airport boundary it extends. So it doesn't seem to actually sort of do any other parts of Okinawa, just the airport itself. But as I said, it's looking pretty highly detailed and coming in for the pretty average price for those guys. So normally comes in at 45 US dollars. Coming in though at a launch special of 35 US dollars available now from Sim Market. And the other scenery release news for the ESP platforms this week, well, this one is a specific for Prepared V4. So the guys over at Digital Design have rebooted their version of St. Petersburg X for version 3 this time. Now, this is an update, as I said, obviously from version 3, they've updated it several times before. However, this time they are rebooting it only exclusively for Prepared V3. Now, this one includes updates of the appearance of the airport as it now appears during 2018, updates of the terminal textures to support 2048 2K resolution textures, updated AFCADs, updated terminal buildings, updated ground poly, and updated taxiway markings and runway textures, and support of updated models of ground vehicles within to include moving buses, cars, and animated traffic for the aprons and outside of the airport as well. Full support for dynamic lighting for Prepared V4, updated 3D lights for the city and surrounding area, and full support of dynamic weather effects for the aprons as well, which is pretty interesting as well. As I said, they've also added in new buildings, districts, and landmarks for the surrounding area and the airports, as well as, again, as I said earlier, as it appears at the start of 2018, and updated jetways models, including full support for SODE and GSX docking system as well. It includes, beyond that, an update to the photoreal textures for the airport and the surrounding area, and updated to be still be very easy on the frames. Now, as I said, if you are a pre-existing owner of version 2, you are able to be entitled to this one to a special upgrade price of only about €9. Was a pretty good deal for that. It was about less than half the price. But yes, if you are a P3D or version 3 or a FSX holdout user, then you do not get there is no option for you to get the benefits of the updated AFCADs and things like that. So a bit sad, but still something that seems to be the way of the future with developers at the moment. Otherwise, if you're a new user, you can pick this one up for 25 US dollars, available now from Sim Market. Moving out of the ESP platforms now, moving into the world of DCS. The guys over DCS have once again done their usual sort of slow release to content to Steam. So this week we saw the release of the Mirage 2000 Red Flag campaign on the Steam platform. Now this has previously been released on the main DCS store about a month ago. I'm pretty sure it'd be about 4 weeks ago. This was released. Essentially, this puts just gives you 16 sort of story-driven missions as a bit of a prelude to content that will be coming out later down the track, and that's planned for the Persian Gulf map, as we're going to see down the track. Includes over, as I said, 16 story-driven missions, over 3,000 voiceovers performed by over 40 voice actors, returning characters from Baltic Dragon's previous Mirage 2000 Caucasus campaign. Includes fully highly detailed mission briefings, maps, and other documents that have been drawn on content actually used by the US and French Air Forces, as well as some interesting background facts and stories from past Red Flag exercises as well. As I said, apparently there's a bit of a sneak peek to the story that this one's putting forward as additional campaign content that will be coming to the Persian Gulf map now that it's available. So we look forward to seeing that other stuff as well in the future. Now, as I said, if you want to pick this one up, this one's available for the Steam edition now for 12 US dollars, or as I said, it has been available for non-Steam users of the DCS platform for the same price, available from the DCS store for about a month. So if you don't use the Steam edition, you can still you can go back and pick yours up from the DCS website. As I said, if you're a Steam user, you finally get to use it, available now on Steam. And rounding out the simulation news for this week, the guys over at Terrain Simulator have released their latest add-on, which is the OBB 1014 locomotive. So this one has a very interesting sort of history. So this one came about as an Austrian project because when the Iron Curtain fell and sort of the end of the collapse of socialism, as it were, in the Eastern Europe, sort of happened in 1991. suddenly there were a lot of Western Europe rail operators and public transport operators suddenly saw this whole new market open up to them, and they would need to be able to have trains capable of crossing borders and going in to be able to do these long distance journeys at very, very high speed. So, as an interim solution, this was a new locomotive was asked to be ordered and designed and ordered, and that became the OB 1014 by the Austrian Rail Bureau. So this one, in the end, though, not very many were produced. Only 18 were produced and delivered, and they only served out a portion of their planned life. Being originally they were planned to go to serve well into the 2020s, but as it was, they only served into 2009 before being retired. There were plans to scrap them, but eventually they were shipped to Romania, and I believe now actually operate on Romanian domestic train routes. So there you go, they did get a second life after all. But this content is part of the Train Simulator Pro series and is designed for their heyday when they were first released and first entered service, and designed to give Austrian passengers an express route into the formerly darkened Eastern Bloc. Now, this includes, as I said, includes a full high definition train as a part of the Pro Series with full detailed engineering dynamics to operate the electric diesel engine, including a full highly detailed startup procedure, running procedure, cab instrument lighting, detailed model of the interior and exterior, including container wagons and passenger wagons as well. Fully functioning PZB indice and with different modes is fully supported as well. It also includes 3 career scenarios. The career scenarios do require, however, the Semmering. I'm totally going to mess this up. The Semmeringbahn Muschlag to Glockenitz route add-on for Train Simulator needs to be in your library in order to be able to make full use of the 3 career scenarios. Otherwise, it is still fully compatible with Steam Workshop scenarios and Quick Drive compatibility as well as always. Coming in at the pretty usual price for content for these guys, coming in at $20 available now on Steam. And with that, that does now wrap up the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. All right, folks, thanks very much for joining me. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.